Warning, this video may contain content that may not be suitable for children or anyone else that is easily offended. Strong language, graphic content, nudity, bad jokes, and a possible idiot, aka myself, may be featured in the following clip. Viewer discretion is advised. Channel is not responsible for any damages that you receive watching this video. Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Zems, and welcome to Creepy Unexplained Disappearances by Rob Gaffigan. So if you guys haven't already, be sure you swoop down to that description box, click on that link, go watch the video to the entirety while me pausing and stopping and talking through the whole thing. Thank you guys so much again for the 2,000 subs, man. Thank you guys so much, man. Let's keep going. Let's keep moving into the right direction. Let me know if you guys are getting too tired of the spooky and the scary videos. We're kind of trying to like branch out and do some more kind of like, I don't know, just some different reaction videos, not too many scary ones, I don't know. But let me know down in the comment section, unless you guys don't care what I react to, and I just keep doing what I'm doing and keep finding videos that I think would be cool. But for now, let's get it.
Thousands of people go missing every year in the United States alone,
Mm-hmm.
never to be found. Did you become one of them?
Red flags, man. I'm telling y'all, use that red flag indicator that I've been teaching you guys. A lot of you guys been asking about merchandise. Maybe one day make some red flag shirts. Ooh, or like red, or like little plushies or something. Who knows?
When Gary Butler returned home after work on January 25, 2006 to find his two sons, ages 2 and 4, left unattended, he knew something was wrong. His wife Teresa was nowhere to be found, and she would have never left the children alone. Panicked, he contacted police, who immediately began working on the case. With no signs of forced entry or a struggle, and with the children having no idea where their mother went or how she went about leaving, it began to seem like Teresa just up and left.
But
there were a few items missing, however, their absence was strange. The items missing included a video camera, a flashlight, Teresa's purse and cell phone, a PlayStation with games, and a stereo from the couple's Jeep. One thing left behind were Teresa's rings. She took them off every night before bed. Where she left them, that's where they remained, untouched. She also left her jacket behind, something you don't normally leave the house without during the winter months. What makes this all the stranger is that Teresa's cell phone had made 2 calls after her disappearance, both to 2 separate people who had never heard of Teresa or any of the Butler family, and when they answered the phone, no one was on the line. 8 years later, and all questions remain unanswered as her family, friends, and the entire community still try to find Teresa Butler. Foul play is suspected in her disappearance.
But then again, a lot of people are like, oh, she'll never do something like that. But do you really know that? Like, are you absolutely sure? A lot of times people think like, oh, like, you know, when people die, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times families be like, oh, he would never hurt anyone. He would never do anything. He was so giving and stuff like that. Yes, maybe around you guys, but around their actual friends, they are totally different people, bro. A lot of people may agree with me on this, but you act totally different around family than you do friends. You get what I'm saying? Some of the stuff you say around friends, you would never say around family. So a lot of family members have that image of, oh, this person was great, this person was spontaneous, like that. But outside of their family, they could be killers, they could be gangbangers, they could be, you know, doing drugs, they racist. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the times the family members don't know that. I've met people that was like, you know, said racial and type stuff, and their parents were just shocked because their parents were not that way at all. But then again, they could have been putting on a facade. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who knows, man? You could never know. But the fact that a flashlight and video games and stuff was missing felt like she was getting ready to go somewhere, maybe give some stuff away, but it could have been a robbery. But why would you need a flashlight and video game but leave your other stuff around like rings? Don't ride too far.
In 1998, 19-year-old Calico had a very tight schedule. On top of studying to become a psychologist, she held down a job at a local bank and liked to remain fit with activities such as tennis and bike riding. Tara took off for a bike ride on Highway 47, a short distance from her New Mexico home. Before she left, she asked her mother to come and get her if she wasn't back by noon, just in case she had managed to get a flat tire, something she was familiar with in the past. Tara wasn't back by noon, so her mother promptly left to go and retrieve her. But Tara and the bicycle she was riding were both gone. Police discovered a cassette tape thought to have belonged to Tara in the dirt near where she was riding, with bike tracks nearby. Almost 20 miles further, they found a Sony Walkman that was believed to have also belonged to Tara. Her mother claimed she was sure that her daughter was leaving a trail for them to follow, but help was unable to do so. The case nearly went cold until a year later, when a photograph was discovered in a parking lot in Florida. The picture depicted what was widely believed to be Tara, alongside a young boy who resembled Michael Henley Jr., who also inexplicably went missing from New Mexico in the same year, but whose body was later found not far from where he disappeared. Beside Tara rested a book by V.C. Andrews, who friends of Tara claimed was her favorite author. Many years later, Tara's parents both ended up passing away, never knowing whatever happened to their daughter. Tips continue to come in over Tara's disappearance as authorities still, over a quarter of a century later, try to put the puzzle pieces together.
Obviously, there is some kind of sexual predator or some type of trafficking going on, or maybe it was just some sadistic dude that just got off on killing kids because a young boy's body was found. And maybe she's still alive, maybe not. Majority of the time they take these women or little young girls and they put them into human trafficking to make some money off of them, or worse, she be chained up somewhere. I've seen all kinds of cases, man. Girls held in connexes, in basements, attics, closets, secret compartments, man. You name it. It's happened before. So I don't know, it could be anything. I mean, we could sit here and guess all day. The way her items were placed, like one thing was right here, another one's right here. Maybe he was dragging her for so far and then put her into her vehicle because the bike trail went so far and then it stopped, and so as the item went so far and it stopped. So he probably grabbed her while she was bike riding or something and took her and her bike probably. Sun, sand, surf, and slavery. Quadruple S.
Bradley family were enjoying their time on a cruise through the Caribbean, having as much fun as any family should. That was before everything turned upside down when 23-year-old daughter Amy went missing aboard the ship. Amy had been having a great time, dancing most of the night. She returned to her room early in the morning, went out for a cigarette on the balcony, and from there, disappeared. Some speculated that she might have fallen overboard and drowned. However, Amy being a lifeguard and a very powerful swimmer, this wasn't seen as a viable possibility. Though the ship was docked very shortly after Amy was reported missing and thorough searches were initiated, Amy was never found. Some witnesses claim they had seen Amy in an elevator with a member of the cruise ship's band around the time she disappeared. Since her disappearance, Amy has been spotted a number of times, most notably by a former Navy sailor who was visiting a brothel. He recalled that he was approached at the bar by a woman who introduced herself as Amy Bradley and claimed she needed his help. However, she was promptly escorted out of the room by two men. The sailor, afraid for being reprimanded by the Navy for being inside of a brothel, didn't report the event until months later. By then, the brothel had burned down. It would be years later before another substantial clue surfaced, and this time it was in the form of an email to Amy's parents. It contained a picture of Amy, dressed in revealing clothing on a bed, allegedly taken off of a South American prostitution website. Though nothing developed further after this, and Amy still, to this day, remains missing.
If that soldier would have done that, I mean, obviously he was worried about his career. I get that. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? I probably would have just go ahead and took that L. Especially somebody saying they need help and you see them she get escorted away by two dudes. They might have even waived your trouble just for doing that, for saving that one person, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure that he's having lots of regrets right now if he's still alive. He wished that he would have done something about it if he would have known the person that he was helping was in trouble and was being sold into human trafficking. A lot of people don't know or are unfamiliar with the amount of murders and cases that happen on side cruise ships because they don't really have to report anything because the cruise ships are not connected to certain countries, and these certain countries don't have any. It's kind of hard to deal with because you get killed somewhere while you're in transportation to another country. The laws and the jurisdiction and the rules and stuff kind of like change. I can't really explain it. I'm not really good at explaining it, but you make sure you do your own research and look up how cruise ship deaths work. It's kind of like it's really creepy to see how many deaths and murders and kidnappings and stuff happen among these cruise ships, because some of these cruise ships are connected to some of these countries that don't have any type of laws or regulations and stuff like that. So look that up, get back to me and see what you guys think about it. But it's really disturbing. I used to want to go on cruise ships all the time, but after reading and seeing all this stuff or doing research on it, I no longer want to be on a cruise ship. Giving the middle finger brings back memories. I used to do this when I was a kid.
Diane Augat had a troubled past involving alcohol and drug abuse. On top of this, she also suffered from bipolar disorder, which she required medication for. Without her medication, Diane left her residence in Odessa, Florida at 11 a.m. on April 10th, 1998. Never to be seen by family or friends ever again. However, that wasn't the last she was heard from. 3 days after she went missing, Diane's mother came home to find a very eerie message left on her answering machine. The message was from her daughter, who said aloud,
"Help! Help! Let me out!"
Sounds could be heard consistent with someone trying to take the phone away from Diane, and the last thing she was able to say was,
"Hey, give me that!"
before the call ended.
The
caller ID read one word, Starlight. And when Diane's mother promptly tried calling back, no one answered. It would be only 3 days before another sign of Diane would come to surface, but this one even eerier than the last. A witness had claimed that he had seen Diane walking around 20 miles away from her home only one day after she was reported missing. It was this area where the severed tip of Diane's right middle finger was found on the side of the road. Still, authorities had no idea where to look for Diane.
They tortured her.
It is Florida, after all. Why should they know what they're doing? But the case had more to offer. 2 weeks after Diane's disappearance, a customer approached an ice freezer outside of a convenience store in Odessa. Opening it, they discovered a bag. Inside the bag were neatly folded clothes. The clothes belonged to Diane. 2 years later, though unconfirmed to be hers, Diane's brother's girlfriend made a discovery in a convenience store in Pasco, Florida, when he found a clear bag with the name Diane written on it in black marker. Inside it were items consistent with what Diane would have owned. Diane had been treated at a mental health facility shortly before her disappearance, and her mother believed that she should have never been released. Seems her mother was right. Diane hasn't been seen since. However, for obvious reasons, she is assumed dead. If you have any information regarding the whereabouts of any of these people, please contact the appropriate law enforcement office right away. That's all for now. Remember, you may not believe it, but anything is possible in a world so seriously strange.
Facts.
I'm Rob Dyke, and I'll see you next Wednesday.
Oh my goodness. Yo, like, this one is kind of like creepy to me because it kind of sounds like, although she did have bipolar disorder, I feel like somebody was there with her. Like, they're like, oh, her sickness shouldn't have been released, but at the same time, she's not going to cut off her own finger and walk 20 miles down the road. You get what I'm saying? And somebody got received a message, her mom received a message of her saying, give me that, which means somebody took the phone, which means someone was there with her. But I don't know, a lot of time we see these cases, I guess they didn't really have too many store cameras and stuff back then, or surveillance. What I kind of got from it was that it was kind of like a miniature, like, scavenger hunt, like, oh, you're getting closer to your daughter because, one, they found a finger, right? I know it's kind of like sick and twisted. You found a finger. The next thing you found was her clothes in the freezer, neatly folded. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to put the clothes in the freezer, why would you even fold them? You know, it's kind of like weird. And then you're going to find something else in a store with her name written on it. I feel like those giving little pieces and clues that they really didn't pay too much attention to. They was like, oh, we found it, so that means she's dead. Maybe she's not. Maybe they were trying to point you in the right direction, but you kind of wasn't like paying attention. It's kind of like that movie Hangman with the letters and stuff like that. He was giving you clues, but if you didn't get there in time, then the person, 9 times out of 10, the person was probably dead. Yeah, man, that's my take on it. But if you guys enjoyed, man, this video is by Rob Gaff. Again, if you guys want to see more of these, be sure to let me know down in the comment section. If you enjoy it, be sure you swoop down to that description box, click on that link, go watch the video, see the entirety while we pause it and stop it and talk it through the whole thing. Thank you guys so much again for the 2,000, man. I greatly appreciate it. If you guys are new to the channel, my name is Reprisal Zems, and welcome to the Crow's Nest. But again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Creepy horror stories, Mr. Ballin type stories, or you guys want to see more of like funny reaction videos and stuff like that, and I can see what I can find.